What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com. The Triple Crown has ended, and so now we start looking to the second half of the year. And what's a lot of fun about the second half of the year, other than the Breeders' Cup that'll be in November, is the divisional rankings for each division in horse racing and how they really kind of line up after the first half in the Triple Crown season, and then what's going to come in the second half of the year. So we're going to cover the 3-year-old male division right now. And what's great about it, when you have 3 different Triple Crown race winners, it makes the summer completely fun and wide open as to who could be the champion 3-year-old of the year once the season comes to an end. So we're going to go ahead and do the top 5 here today. Here's my top 5 going into the summer. Now, realize this isn't exactly who I think will end up being 3-year-old of the year when it's over. It's just, what have they done now? How have they earned their spots now? Where are they ranked going into the summer? So keep that in mind. This is just what they've already done versus what they might do in the future. So number 5 on my list, I kept the Kentucky Derby winner, Rich Strike, in my top 5. I saw some people that have not. I will keep him in. He did win the race. Everybody wants to win, and that's the Kentucky Derby. So Rich Strike at number 5 for me. I'll keep him there going into the summer. And the bottom line is, whether you like him or not, whether you're going to bet him next time or not, he's one like Travers went away from being number 1 again, or at least in the top 2. So when you win the Kentucky Derby, you've got a lot of clout. Obviously, he was 80-1. Obviously, he didn't come back to run very well in the Belmont Stakes. Obviously, he didn't have a win this year before that Kentucky Derby win. So there's a lot of knocks on him. And he's going to fall down that list even further if he can't run a little bit better than he did in the Belmont. But he does have that way to that Kentucky Derby, and so he can shoot right back up the rankings if he can pick up a big win this summer. At number 4, I went with a horse that did not win a Triple Crown race, but finished second in the Kentucky Derby, finished second in the Preakness, and that is Epicenter. That Epicenter had a really good first half of the year, obviously, down at Fairgrounds, winning 3 out of 4 races very impressively. And coming, like I said, the second in the Derby, the second in the Preakness. He's right there with a shot, right? He needs to win the Haskell. He needs to win a race like the Jim Dandy or the Travers to kind of get him back to where he has a shot to win the whole thing. But that's the target for him, right? I would think the Haskell or Jim Dandy is next, followed by the Travers, followed by the Pennsylvania Derby perhaps. So he's going to have his chances to get back up there, and he's going to have his chances to beat, one of the or 2 or 3 of these 3 horses that are ranked ahead of him. So we'll go on to the number 3 horse on the list today, Early Voting, the Preakness winner. This horse pretty lightly raced this year, only 3 starts. He won the Withers very impressively. He lost to Mo Donegal in a very tight finish in the Wood in a race where if he would have won it, he probably would be number 1 on the list right now, but he lost to Mo Donegal. Of course, he comes back and he wins the Preakness. So obviously a lot to like about Early Voting. Like I said, he's lightly raced as well, so we'll see if he maybe has even more to give as we move forward. You can look for him, the Jim Dandy and Travers, in races of that caliber as well. Number 2 on the list, it's an undefeated colt who's come back strong. He missed the entire Kentucky Derby buildup, but he did run on Kentucky Derby Day in the Pat Day Mile, and he dominated. He came back and won the Woody Stevens last weekend. Of course, I'm talking about Jack Christopher for Chad Brown. I put him number 2. Listen, he could be any kind. The horse is undefeated. He is running speed figures better than anybody else right now in the group. However, they've come in 1-turn races. So the big question mark is, how will he look around 2 turns? He's going to try it. At least right now, the plan is to try it in the Haskell Stakes coming up on July 23rd. If Jack Christopher wins the Haskell, not only is he going to keep this number 2 ranking, he may accidentally move up to number 1. We'll see. It just depends on how impressive he is. Can he get the distance? The speed figure is still really fast for him going 2 turns versus 1 turn. A lot of question marks. I have no idea personally if he can get the distance or not. He runs like a horse that can. He's very relaxed early. His pedigree says maybe not. So, hey, we'll see. I'm not making any predictions on that until the Haskell on July 23rd. I just know he's got a ton of talent, and he'll have a great shot to prove it. And like I said, if he wins the Haskell, he's going to be right there. This undefeated colt looks awfully good. All right, number 1 on the list, and I think it's pretty easy to put him here. It's Mo Donegal. It's the Belmont Stakes winner. So obviously he's got that under his belt, winning the Belmont Stakes. He also has a win, fair and clear, against Early Voting when he beat him in the Wood Memorial, like I mentioned earlier. So he's beaten the Preakness winner. He beat the Kentucky Derby winner in the Belmont. He seems to be coming on, getting better throughout the year, kind of progressing with each start. So I think the win over early voting vaults him to number one now that he won the Belmont Stakes. There's a lot to prove, though, right? If he loses a couple of races, horses like Jack Christopher, early voting, Epicenter, Rich Strike, even a horse like Zandon, who I do not have ranked in the top 5, but I think can get into the conversation, they're going to pass Mo Donegal. He is not a firm number one by any stretch. I think he's very deserving. I think he's the clear number one, but a couple of losses and he's going to fall down, the list. So, not having that other big win besides, the Belmont was the big one. Say he could have won the Derby and the Belmont. Well, he would be a really strong number one and take a lot to pass him. But right now, he will be number one heading into the summer races. But like I've said a few times here, the Travers, the Jim Dandy, the Haskell, the Pennsylvania Derby, and on, of course, to the Breeders' Cup Classic as well. And, Breeders' Cup races in general, like the Sprint, could play a factor of it as well with Jack Christopher, perhaps. We'll see. So a lot to unfold, a lot to unpack, and that's what happens when you've got horses kind of trading off wins in the big 3-year-old series. So this is a great bunch of horses. I really believe that. I think we've got some really talented horses. And, even if maybe you don't think they're as talented as I do, they're still very competitive, and that also makes for fun betting and makes for fun trying to rank these horses. So thanks, everybody, for watching this video. Really appreciate you joining me for this one. It's going to be a fun summer. We got you covered all summer long, all into the fall, into the Breeders' Cup at racingdudes.com. The Triple Crown's over. Our coverage is just beginning. So this is when it really gets fun. So thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next time.